What's up, everybody? It's Noah, and I am back with some more Heroes of the Storm content for you. Now that we have daily quests unlocked, because we're at level 6, I'm going to be trying to concentrate on those a little bit. We're just trying to accrue more gold so we can purchase some more characters, giving us a little bit of flexibility to get more quests done, and hopefully get us in a position where down the road we can do Hero League. So with that being said, we're going to concentrate on our Assassin quest right now. There is StarCraft, but the only StarCraft available at the moment is Sergeant Hammer, who I'm not super comfortable with, and frankly, I wanted to revisit the Butcher, see if we can get some better gameplay than we had the last time around. Last time we were playing the Butcher on Dragonshire, and there was just a really big issue as far as the team communicating with each other, not really rotating as needed, and I ended up just kind of getting crushed because I didn't have anyone assisting me. But with that being said, we're going to jump in with a positive attitude, try to do a little bit better this time. So, with that being said, I will see you after the jump. Okay guys, we are zoning in on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a map that I've always enjoyed a lot. Like the last time, I'm going to be going primarily an auto attack build here, taking victuals at level 1, which I think is a better choice here than it might have been on Dragonshire, just because the laning phases never really end in Tomb of the Spider Queen because you're constantly trying to hunt down gems. We have successfully gotten our monkey, but I think I am going to head to top lane with Zeratul for some sick ganking action. Let's take a look at the team comps. Myself as the Butcher, Li Ming, Li Li, Illidan, and Zeratul versus Li Li, Kael'thas, Asmodean, Zagara, and Butcher. We have a great deal of burst and just pure DPS in our comp, but the enemy team has a lot of ability to siege in the form of that Zagara and Asmodean. So with that in mind, we're just going to have to kind of shut down those split pushes when they occur and do our best to kind of mitigate the macro game while getting ganks wherever we can. We see that Kael'thas is hanging around with Lili. I think Kael'thas is... Nope, okay. He decided to go back into the lane rather than waiting for an early gank. Probably a smart move on his part, especially facing the team comp that he is. It's difficult for me to push out here because I can get rather immediately punished by Mr. Kael'thas. Unfortunately, I end up sliding a little bit too far and go into tower range, which is something I definitely want to avoid as the Butcher early on. I'm wandering in just so I can collect my meat stacks, which are just going to be so crucial for being able to do that consistent damage as the game goes on. I am actually going to come in and we are going to wreck this Butcher and get our first kill of the game. I think the way we need to play this, considering our team comp is very heavy on the ganks and trying to push forward to get an early kind of experience and kill lead, enabling us to, as the game goes on, deal with the kind of macro pushing strategy we might be seeing from the other guys. At the same time, I went down for that gank, but I am not going to ignore my lane. We also managed to pick up a kill on the enemy Zagara somewhere below, which is all good. Keeping those rotations going is going to be really important. Oh, unfortunately, our Illidan takes a death from the enemy Li Li there. I'm not really able to get in there. I don't have Flail Axe, so I am not able to slow down the Li Li with the extra range on my hamstring ability, but it's all good. We have a slight experience lead now, and it looks like we're keeping up on our laning, so I think we're in a pretty good position. I am currently topped off on fresh meat right now, which means I'm going to be doing a lot of auto attack damage, allowing me to clear these lanes even faster. And just overall, I think this is going substantially better than it did last time I was playing the Butcher. Looks like they're calling for assistance mid. I'm going to come in here and just interrupt that turn-in real quick. Not super essential, but I was able to do it pretty much for free, which is all good. But it looks like we're going to jump on Mr. Kael'thas here. I'm going to take the Flail Axe, and we're going to be able to clean him up no problem whatsoever. We could turn on the Zagara possibly, but I prefer to just play a little bit safer and get back to laning. As I said, for us, getting this experience lead and keeping it is going to be kind of crucial because we can easily get punished by the macro game offered by the enemy Zagara and Asmodean. We are taking another hit to the friendly Illidan. I think he's playing a little bit unsafely. I'm just going to get in there, interrupt on the Li Li real quick, and ping my friends to help me out. Going to interrupt again. But unfortunately, the rest of the team is there too, so I'm trying to avoid that. I should... am I able to get out of here? Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm going to get ganked brutally. I pinged for my team to assist me, but no one came, resulting in me taking an unnecessary death, which, well, Hopefully we can deal with that. Illidan is going to pick up my gems, but unfortunately we've got 3 of the enemy team there. I'm going to ping danger against it. Hopefully we start coming in trying to deny this turn-in. Unfortunately, we're not able to deny the enemy Butcher from turning in, and now they have caught up to us on experience with a 3-3 kill mark at the 3.5-minute part of the game. Friendly Lily takes the death, extending their experience lead a little bit further. I'm going to make an effort to just regen my meat stacks and push out this lane a little bit. We really need to focus as a team on getting these picks whenever they're available. Right now, we're getting a little bit scattered. We had it down in the very beginning part of the game, but now I'm just a little bit concerned that people are starting to lose focus, and enemy web weavers have been achieved. Really need to stack up as much as possible. Not sure why people kind of aren't doing that, but we could see what we got done with those early rotations, and fortunately our Lily manages to just barely save the friendly Illidan from that living bomb death. I'm going to head to top lane and work on pushing off this top spider before I start rotating down. It looks like I've basically been a little bit stuck in top lane for a lot of this game. People aren't really rotating around, which is fine. Tomb of the Spider Queen, the rotations typically happen between mid and bot lane. But I am going to be able to take out this nasty, nasty spider without too much trouble. I am picking up Abattoir so that when I inevitably die again, I'm not going to lose all my meat stacks and have quite as much work to do. So I have managed to take out top spider. Unfortunately, I'm taking a lot of damage from these little minions here. And I'm going to go in here, clear this wave real quick, not only for meat, but to decrease pressure on the wall. And it looks like the enemy team has managed to take the fort already. I ordinarily wouldn't do this, but the issue is that our towers are out of ammo. They got all soaked up by Mr. Spider over there. But now it's relatively clear, so I'm going to come in and assist the team. Enemy team is doing a good job pushing as 5, or pushing as 4, which is really enough in this situation. Now we're dealing with a pretty substantial loss in experience, and what we really need is Zeratul, who is apparently AFK right now, to come in and help us out with some of these ganks, but apparently, oh, okay, now he decides to show up to the party. Oh, that's great. We really need to get in here and try and do something before these guys hit level 10, because they're about to at any moment. Okay, Li Ming is coming in. I really need heals from Miss Lily right now, but I see that she's very low in mana. Not sure why we didn't pull any kills there. We got everyone very low. Li Ming really needed to jump in and get some of those for us. Can I grab Mr. Kael'thas? It's a possibility. Yes, it is. Okay, we got him. My charge apparently went to full cooldown upon that cancel, so we did manage to take a kill, but the enemy team is about to ding level 10, which is going to put us in a very dangerous position. I am sitting on 30 gems right now, so what I want to do, if at all possible, is grab this turn-in. The problem is Gara has creep right there, so I'm going to stay as far away as I can from that side to prevent getting interrupted, and we have managed to secure spiders for our team. What this is going to do, we're not going to get a lot of pushing done, but it's going to build some space for us to just soak experience, because obviously we don't want an engagement while we're down on our heroic talent. Right now, the spiders are offering us an opportunity to play catch-up, which we sorely need. I'm going to back away, because the last thing I want to do is increase the experience gap by taking an unnecessary death from the enemy Kael'thas. I'm at full fresh meat stacks, so I'm definitely problematic to the enemy team. Not sure why Illidan's attempting to go in there, but I'm just going to sit here, kind of stick with our Lily a little bit. Don't want her to be jumped on necessarily, but I'm definitely not going to be going for any kills right here. So we're doing a good job just kind of spreading out and soaking as much as possible, and we're about to ding level 10, which is just great. This time I don't remember if last time I took Lamb to the Slaughter or Furnace Blast, but I'm definitely taking Furnace Blast this time, because we've got some relatively slow, immobile enemies on the enemy team, and I'm going to throw it out right here, and we're going to be able to, oh, come on now, take out Mr. Azmodan. I soak a few tower shots. Ooh, this could be problematic. Li Ming is going to take a death because she followed me a little bit too deep. I'm throwing out my flail axe to try and build some space for myself. Fortunately, I am going to manage to get away, because the Butcher blew his ruthless onslaught on the friendly Li Ming, and fortunately we have caught up. We have we have heroic abilities now, so now we have the opportunity to engage a little bit better. It's looking, though, like Illidan is once again going to be punished. He shouldn't be that far out mid without the safety of the fort to protect him, and there's not a whole lot that I can do to assist, but it looks like we're going to get into some sort of sloppy engagement here. It's not something I want. I'm just going to ping everyone to retreat, because this isn't something we need. Li Ming's throwing out the disintegration beam, but that's not really going to do anything right there. But now we have an opportunity to work on this Zagara right here, which is good. And possibly the enemy Butcher. We managed to take out the Li Ming. Can we get the Butcher as well? Yes, I am probably going to take a death here, but I think it was worth it because I managed to secure basically 3 kills right there. For some reason, the enemy Kael'thas decided to pick up Pyroblast, which is actually going to take out our Zeratul, but overall it ended up being a 2-for-4 trade, which while we're behind in experience is perfectly fine or even desirable. But what we need to do right now is keep that soak, keep those gems coming in so that we can kind of continue to rally around our spiders and hopefully get some pushing done. We've got bottom fort about half dead, so a smart move, which is probably, and it looks like that is what Li Ming and Illidan are going to do. They're going to take down that fort just for the little experience kick we're going to get off that. I'm going to start rebuilding my meat stacks here in the mid lane, just to, 1, create space for our team to operate, and 2, to collect gems and make sure that I'm topped out on my auto attack damage. Kael'thas is there. I don't want to engage him without the support of the friendly team, but it looks like we've got an engagement going on bot lane. I would jump into this, but there's just too many people there, and we really need the whole team to be present. Not sure what Zeratul's doing. He's being kind of weird. I am thinking about what I want to take here. I'm actually going to go with Spell Shield. Typically at this level, I take Crave Flesh, but the reality is I think I need the Spell Shield to deal with the Kael'thas, who's going to be doing a lot of damage to me without it. Illidan is taking yet another death. His engagements have been kind of sloppy this game. We've got a lot of enemy team activity in the bot lane, but they're not really pushing in, so I'm not sure why we're posturing around trying to get something done there. Okay, so they are starting to push in. I'm going to get my turn in real quick, and then I'm going to move to help defend. Frankly, no, this fort is a lost cause. I don't think this is really a rational engagement, but I will try and help poke them away a little bit. But no, we already lost the fort. Illidan was down. They took advantage of it. I'm going to get in here and help out Miss Lily a little bit, and hopefully we can turn it around on this Butcher. He branded me, so I'm going to get away, and then I'm going to brand him. Okay, we should be able to get the kill on this Butcher. Yes, we do. That's always good, and we are just about caught up. I'm going to ping the friendly team to assist me with these bruisers right here, just because we have the space to get it done, and we just want to kind of push these lanes as much as possible. We've lost 2 forts, but on this map, that doesn't really make a tremendous difference, just because the length of the lanes between the forts and the keeps is so long that you don't really feel the pressure in this one until you start getting keeps down. Those bruisers are going to help us push mid a little bit. Ooh, we got a lot of people just roaming around this lane. I'm back up to full stacks of fresh meat. And I'm kind of looking for my in. The enemy team's Butcher has just come back up, but we definitely don't want to kind of jump the gun too early. We are making sure to maintain control of both the spider altars, which is all good. I'm going to get in here, just poke with my flail axe. I'm not going to commit to it until the team is really in position and ready to engage. Now, who is the person we should dive on? Well, it's probably that Butcher who has just overextended dramatically. Oh boy, I am trying to save myself with my brand, but unfortunately it's just not enough. We are going to take out, we should take out the enemy Butcher, yes, but unfortunately we also lost our Illidan, who, again, now we lose our Lily. The timing on the ultimates this game has not been great. Lily's jugs have been a little bit out of place a lot of the time, and Zeratul has just been operating kind of weird. He has maybe an opportunity to take out that Kael'thas, but that's not something I would really rely on. But fortunately, it looks like the enemy team is not going to take advantage of all the space they made. I am back up, and I'm going to head bot lane to take out these minions and prepare for the next wave of spiders coming towards us. Not sure why these Butcher games are coming out so poorly lately. I actually feel like in this one in particular I'm performing a lot better, but the lack of a real tank on our team, combined with the natural tankiness of the enemy team in the form of Asmodan, is kind of putting us in a more precarious position than I would like. Okay, got an attempted gank from the enemy Butcher, but he kind of wasted his brand early on. So, putting me in a position where I can respond still relatively well. Is that a Butcher with block? I'm not sure what that little shield thing is around him. Okay. He's coming back in. I'm going to drink from my sippy cup real quick. I'm going to ping danger and then I need assistance, but frankly, the whole team is busy dealing with that. We've got double Butcher's brands going off, and there's just really nothing I can do right here. I should have pulled back a lot earlier, and I'm going to take a death because I gotta walk right past all these guys because I wasn't really planning my route. Gonna take Blood Frenzy. Just because it's an auto attack build. Let me take a look at what the other Butcher has taken. Yep, he took Spell Shields, and he is actually going the Flail Axe build, which is apparently working out pretty well for him. Illidan taking another death. Man, it's looking like this Butcher game is going to result in just yet another defeat. I'm trying to take a look at the stats and figure out what's going wrong. Not really sure, you know? Okay, we have managed to respond fairly well to that. We take out a couple members of the enemy team. We're down a level, but we're on the same talent tier, and unfortunately, Zeratul overextends, can't blink out, resulting in his death. We have lost one keep from that wave of spiders, so we really need to recommit to getting the objective, staying together, most importantly. I don't know why no one seems to understand that this game. And making our engagements when we can and when we have the advantage, particularly the numbers advantage. The enemy team's playing very aggressively, and they're being rewarded for it, and that's something we kind of need to respond to in kind. We are currently floating enough gems for a turn-in. I think that's what Li Ming wants to try to do. I will, in a moment, indicate to the team that we need to do that, because we really need to create space here. That's one of the big things. Is they're kind of... using Kael'thas, they have the opportunity to create this immense zoning pressure, so creating space needs to be of the utmost importance so that we have more room to maneuver ourselves. We did manage to get spiders, which is going to create some space for us, but first off we need to clear these bruisers right here. Something I learned recently is that the Mage Bruiser actually does more damage than any of the other bruisers, so when you're defending against them, you want it to be your priority to take that bruiser out before you get to the Knights. Okay, I am filled up on meat again, and where are we gonna go? Okay, we have a serious engagement going on right here. We can take this Butcher with just 0 effort. There we go. I'm not sure why Illidan decided to burn his ultimate there. We have taken out the Butcher. We have an opportunity to possibly take out this Lily if we play it safe. But unfortunately we're not. Because I don't know where the rest of the fucking team is. And yes, I'm getting kind of salty over this, because I don't know why we're all split up into different fucking lanes right now. We're not going to get some sort of crazy cross-pushing done. Now I need to back up, drink from the well, and defend against this giant fucking minion wave that we're dealing with right now. Illidan is going in and is going to get completely fucking deleted by that Kael'thas, so I'm not sure what his reasoning is right there. Kael'thas after 16 is obviously our greatest threat, which is why I'm going to go in on him right now. But Illidan, again, is not in a fucking position to assist me. He's posturing around the sides of these engagements, but he's not actually committing to them, resulting in all of us taking a bunch of damage and us not actually securing any kills. Like... Also, Li Ming is on the other side of the map, helping to push down a fort as we get a keep currently deleted from under our feet, giving the enemy team level 20 at the 18-minute mark. Sorry to be salty, guys, but a little bit of map awareness really goes a long way in this game. It should be kind of transparently obvious that this is an issue that needs to be dealt with, and this is the kind of situation where Li Ming really thrives. So... why don't we play to our strengths a little bit? Okay, just trying to get this fucking Kael'thas down, but nope, now we're just all going to get deleted, because friendly team just can't commit to anything. Don't really know what to say here. I'm kind of trying to lead a horse to water, but it's definitely refusing to drink on me. And let's see. We got Lily up, we've got Li Ming up. Li Ming is probably about to get deleted. And yes, she is, because who would have thought that would happen with the Butcher right there. And this is unfortunately going to look like a loss for the friendly team this time. Oh boy. Yep. Oh, apparently I can't play the Butcher anymore. No, it actually wasn't a good game, and you were substantially to blame for it, which I'm about to go into in a moment. Ugh. Alright. Well, that was frustrating. Let's take a look at the stats and try to figure out kind of what happened there. We do manage to get the event quest completed, and we get a level on the Butcher. We're about 3/4 of the way to level 7, where we'll get another rotation slot, which is always good, and we're only 480 gold away from being able to pick up another 2,000 gold character, which is probably going to be Vala. But that being said, let's take a look at the stats. Obviously, Li Ming doing the most damage, most XP, most siege, standard Li Ming things. Our Lily, for a substantial part of the game, was actually out-healing the enemy Lily, but ultimately the heals on the part of the enemy Lily were just better placed and better timed a lot of the time. She was popping Jug at the right times, staying back, avoiding her own deaths. There were definitely some opportunities I missed where I should have charged the enemy Lily to stun her out of Jug. The problem is just the kind of the slow wind-up of Ruthless Onslaught means that most of the healing from Jugs would already be done by the time that I got to her, which isn't really a great excuse, but it kind of helps elucidate some of my reasoning on charging the Kael'thas more often than not. Our primary issue through the whole game was our Illidan. He was leading on deaths. I was second, which is kind of natural when you're another melee assassin without stealth or a blink like Zeratul. But our Illidan, I feel like if we had tank numbers around Illidan, he would have soaked more damage than anyone in this game. The amount of damage, of pointless damage, that the friendly Illidan took was kind of incredible. He was just constantly diving into situations without support. I mean, we've got a Lily, but that is hardly an ideal healer to have for an Illidan-based team comp. Really, what needed to happen, and what was happening for the early part of the game, which is why I don't understand why it all went so bad, was we needed to use the overwhelming gank power that we have. I mean, look at our team comp. We can delete just about anyone as long as we focus fire them. But the issue was people got too stuck in this like macro laning idea. As I said very early on, what we needed to do as a team was rely on those picks and ganks and fast rotations to shut down the macro game that the other team was able to play. But that wasn't even really the issue. The issue was that Kael'thas and the Butcher were basically given free reign to pick apart our relatively squishy team comp, and we were not focusing down targets with the speed that we needed to. The reality is the enemy Butcher would overextend routinely, and we took advantage of that, got picks on him regularly, but the problem was we never spun that into the momentum necessary to take out the rest of the team. Obviously, the next target should have been that Kael'thas. Even if Kael'thas is the only person being healed by Jug of 10,000 Cups, he would have been deleted under focus fire. But again, you're dealing with Li Ming was going off to other lanes too often. Illidan was diving too early and not alongside me, the other dive character. Zeratul was periodically AFK. I don't know, it's just kind of a disaster from top to bottom. I promise I'm a good Butcher player, guys. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it yet. Anyway, if you like this video, you want to see more, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Also, feel free to check out some of the affiliated channels, which are going to be Negligent Adventurers and Adventure Aaron, where we do some other types of games. Negligent Adventures, mostly co-op and blind Let's Plays. Adventure Aaron is the other half of the Negligent Adventurers duo, who mostly specializes in indie games, adventure games, and kind of smaller form RPGs, so feel free to check that if you're interested. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, guess if I don't get murdered by a Kael'thas, I will see you in the Nexus. Have a good one.